Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am so thrilled to have you here for this explainer because today we are going to completely demystify one of the most vital, non-stop processes happening inside your body right this very second. We are talking about the respiratory system. If you are a student studying for your biology exams, you are in the exact right place. We're going to take your textbook material and break down the incredibly complex journey of how our bodies transform invisible air into pure, life-sustaining energy and make it perfectly clear and easy to remember. Okay, let's just dive right in.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty mechanics, I want you to do something for me. Right now, wherever you're sitting, just take a massive deep breath in. Feel your chest rise, feel those ribs expand, and let it out. So what actually just happened inside your body? I mean, it feels super simple, right? Air goes in, air goes out. But beneath the surface, you literally just kicked off a highly synchronized microscopic chain reaction that is absolutely crucial for keeping every single cell in your body alive.
To truly nail this for your exams, we are going to follow a four-part journey. 1. The journey of a breath. 2. Breathing mechanics. 3. Alveolar gas exchange. And 4. Cellular respiration.
All right, part 1. The journey of a breath, from the outside in.
Think back to that breath you inhaled a second ago. Air first enters through your nasal cavity, and your textbook highlights something super important here. This cavity is lined with mucus and these microscopic hair-like structures called cilia. They're basically a biological security system. They filter out dust and bacteria while at the exact same time moisturizing and warming that air up to your internal body temperature. From there, that clean, warm air travels down the pharynx, past the larynx, and straight into the trachea. That's the ribbed tube running down your throat. The trachea then splits off into two bronchi, which branch out even further into tiny bronchioles deep inside your lungs. It's honestly like a giant upside-down tree made of air.
Moving right along to part 2, breathing mechanics. The physical pump.
Let's think about the actual physics of your chest pumping. During inspiration, when you breathe in, the volume of your thoracic cavity actively increases. By expanding that physical space, the internal pressure drops, and air is essentially vacuumed into your lungs straight from the outside room. Then, during expiration, your thoracic cavity shrinks back down. The volume decreases, the pressure builds up, and the air is pushed right back out. It is literally pure physics happening inside your chest.
Now, the crucial point for your exams is knowing exactly which muscles create this volume change. Let's compare them directly. During inspiration, your intercostal muscles, those are the ones sitting right between your ribs, they contract, pulling your ribs up and out. At the same time, your diaphragm, which is the muscle floor of your chest, flattens down. This is what expands the space. During expiration, it's the exact opposite. Those intercostal muscles relax, your ribs drop back down, and the diaphragm relaxes, curving back up into a dome shape. So, contract and flatten to pull air in, relax and curve to push air out.
Okay, part 3. Alveolar gas exchange. I like to call this the microscopic swap.
We are zooming way in now. Those tiny bronchioles we talked about earlier, they end in these little balloon-like air sacs called alveoli. If we look at a cross-section of just one single alveolus surrounded by a blood capillary, we find the absolute boundary line between the outside world and your internal bloodstream. Because the concentration of oxygen is way higher in the fresh air you just breathed into that sac, oxygen automatically diffuses straight across the membrane and into your red blood cells. And at the exact same time, carbon dioxide and water vapor, which are the waste products in your blood, diffuse out into the empty space of the alveolus, getting ready to be exhaled. Now, for this diffusion to happen fast enough to keep you alive, the respiratory surface has to be perfectly adapted. Your textbook gives us 4 defining characteristics that you absolutely must memorize. Number 1, the walls of the alveoli are incredibly thin. We're talking often just 1 cell thick. Number 2, the surface is kept moist, which helps the gases dissolve. Number 3, there is a massive surface area because you have literally millions of these tiny sacs in your lungs. And number 4, they are highly vascularized. That just means they're covered in a really dense network of blood capillaries so they can immediately transport that fresh oxygen away.
Which brings us to part 4, cellular respiration. This is where we actually make the energy.
Listen, this definition right here is a major key. Often, in everyday life, we use the word respiration when we just mean breathing in and out. But biologically speaking, cellular respiration is the chemical process of oxidizing simple foods, like glucose, to produce energy for biological activities, right inside your living cells. Breathing is just the delivery guy. Cellular respiration is the actual destination where the energy manufacturing happens.
You are definitely going to want to know this equation. This is basically the biological recipe for life, the balanced chemical equation for aerobic respiration. You take glucose, which is C6H12O6, from the food you eat. You add 6 molecules of oxygen, O2, from the air you breathe. Your cells react them together, and that yields 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, and the grand prize, energy. And that energy is stored in your body as a chemical called ATP.
But wait, what if there isn't enough oxygen around? Your textbook makes a really important distinction between two types of respiration here. Aerobic respiration, which we literally just saw, completely breaks down glucose using oxygen, and it gives you a very high energy yield. But there's also anaerobic respiration, which functions without oxygen. It's kind of like your body's backup generator. It produces a lot less energy, and it creates byproducts. In animals like us, if you sprint really hard and your muscles run out of oxygen, anaerobic respiration kicks in and produces lactic acid. That is exactly why you get muscle cramps. Interestingly, in yeast cells, this same anaerobic process produces alcohol, which is the whole basis for fermentation.
So we've produced all this chemical energy, this ATP. What's it actually doing? Well, obviously, it powers your muscle movements, active transport in your cells, and building proteins. But your textbook drops some truly amazing extra facts here. ATP is the exact same energy currency used all across the animal kingdom for some wild stuff. It is the literal energy source that powers the bioluminescence of fireflies glowing in the dark. It's even the energy used to generate electricity in electric eels. All of that incredible power starts with the exact same fundamental process of respiration.
All right, let's do a super quick recap. 1. Air journeys through the nasal cavity. 2. Breathing mechanics pump that air into the lungs. 3. Alveoli swap oxygen for carbon dioxide. And 4. Cellular respiration forges the ATP energy that runs your entire life. It's truly a marvel of biological engineering, isn't it? Every single time your chest rises, you are feeding billions of microscopic cellular engines. So the next time you feel your pulse quicken or you're up late studying hard for that biology exam, just remember the incredible journey happening inside you right then and there. And now that you know exactly how it's made, how will you use your ATP today? Thanks so much for learning with me on this explainer, and I will see you all next time.